not only proves that game adaptations can be hugely successful, but also connect with audiences who have never even touched the game. Let me show you why in this video. Today, I'm going to briefly dive into why Arcane is a must-watch, even if you've never played League of Legends before. With Arcane Season 2 just around the corner, which releases on November 1st, there really isn't a better time to take the dive into the show and actually catch up on this incredible series. Now, let's get into why Arcane should be on your watch list before Season 2 drops.
Happy Progress Day!
Now let's talk about the gigantic elephant in the room for a minute. A lot of people might think that to enjoy Arcane, or any video game adaptation for that matter, that you need to know the characters, or, oh, I didn't play that game, it's been out for so long, I'm so behind, I have no... Stop. Time out.
Stop it.
Take a knee. None of that matters. And this is the part where I'm asking you to trust me. None of that matters, because the creators have done such an incredible job at world building, creating characters that you actually care about. When was the last time you watched a show that, oh my God, I actually care if somebody lives or dies? For me, it's been quite a while. I don't know about you, but I care about these characters. I care about this world. I care about what happens to them. So regardless of your familiarity with the game, you don't need to know anything about it. Trust me on this. Now let me give you some concrete personal evidence of this being true. My wife has no idea what goes on in the game League of Legends. She has watched me play it, and by watched, I mean she has walked by and probably thought, oh my God, he spends way too much time on that game, but she has never heard a single character name or seen a single game in action. When we started this show, she was more excited to start the next episode than I was. I mean, that is like the perfect example of why this show is everybody friendly. It's newbie friendly. It's normie friendly. It really, truly appeals to everyone. This show, I cannot emphasize it enough, stands on its own. So what makes Arcane stand out from other shows? Let's dive into these meat and potatoes of what actually makes this show stand out and worth your time. Storytelling, writing, and characterization. One of the things that I absolutely crave and cannot seem to get enough of in modern entertainment is solid storytelling, quality writing, and interesting, likable characters. A lot of shows today struggle to check even one of these boxes, let alone all three. But Arcane isn't like other shows. Not only does it check all of those boxes, it excels at each one equally. In the storytelling in Arcane, it's compelling, it's emotionally driven, and it's deeply family-oriented. There's no time wasted at all right from the first episode. I think a lot of shows struggle to make you care about anything in the first episode, even if it's a pilot episode. And this show has it's got this perfect balance between these slower, intimate, and personal moments with the characters, and then these higher stake conflicts and battles. And this isn't a hot take by any means, but where Arcane truly excels has got to be in its character development. This show has complex, relatable characters with real motivations that are deeply and thoughtfully explored, something that I have just been missing forever, it feels like. And one of its greatest strengths is how it handles the characters' arcs. You get to witness these characters growing up and changing and facing the consequences of their choices that they're making. Arcane lays the groundwork for you. And this goes back to my original point, which is you don't need prior knowledge to connect with them. They're that well written. And by the end of it, You'll be rooting for their victories, and you will feel every bit of their defeat. And this is why I don't want you to miss this show. Now I'm going to tell you about the other biggest main standout aspect of Arcane, and that is the animation and the action sequences. For only $90 million that it costs to make this show, the animation is beautiful. It's rich with color, and it has this really special style of blending. And I don't know much about animation, but it blends kind of like this 2D and 3D element together, and it makes it feel like something that you haven't really seen before in an animation style. And I know all animation is different, but this is kind of just like a step up from what I'm used to personally. Arcane is based off of a video game at the end of the day, so League of Legends, whether you played it or not, has a ton of action in it, and they crank this up to a 15 out of 10 in the show. And it's freaking awesome. We get a ton of street level fighting delivered to us, which to me, it's refreshing because right now, as you know, we are in a landscape of the multiverse, these big, gigantic cosmic events and big bad threats, and just nothing is of quality that's actually street level. Like, do you remember the old Daredevil on Netflix? This reminds me of that type of fighting. It's just like that raw, close-up, gritty intensity that we've been missing. You're given that in this show, a Netflix show about a video game of all things. And us, the viewers, the paying Netflix viewers, are treated to some of the best animated fight sequences that I've seen in a very long time. The action scenes, you actually feel the punches. They carry this weight to them in the sound design. Paired with the animation, it adds this whole layer to these hits that you get. And it's not just the same one or two characters getting the shit kicked out of them. Everybody does. You have no idea what is going to happen to your favorite character at the end of every episode. And it kind of reminds me, I don't know if you've heard of this show before, but Game of Thrones, anybody? It does. I'm going there. It reminds me of the early days of peak Game of Thrones.
Man tried to kill me. I want his name and I want his head.
The writers actually take bold risks. There is a real sense of danger and unpredictability in every single episode. And to me, I think that's rare. You don't see that anymore. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, modern Hollywood, Disney, Marvel, they don't know how to do this. But Arcane, they know how to do this, and they execute it perfectly. Just to clarify, at the end of the day, I'm not here pushing you to buy a Netflix subscription. I'm not here to sell you on anything. I'm simply excited to share something that I think is incredible, and I believe a lot of people could possibly be overlooking because of the whole video game adaptation thing. So I challenge you to watch Arcane. If this video gets you to check it out, then that's a win for me. I want you to drop your thoughts in the comments once you've seen it or if you watch it. I'm really curious to know if it hooks you in the way it did for me. I'm one of those people that really get satisfaction out of knowing that someone appreciates my recommendation. It really means a lot to me. I get so much out of when someone comes and tells me, hey, I watched what you told me about and I loved it. I would have never known about it. That's what I'm going for here. So I just want to say thanks for stopping by my channel, and we'll see you next time.